My name is Johan Wenderstam and I work at Meridix Systems. Today I'm going to do a short presentation of our reporting solution for mitel-telepo called Meridix. So, the first question is of course, what is Meridix? The answer is something like it's a scalable, web-based multi-tenant reporting solution for service providers and carriers, designed with simplicity as its primary focus. Before I continue, we are proud to be able to say that we are already used by many mitel-telepo customers today, and many others using different platforms, since Meridix is actually a generic reporting platform. The next, and probably most important question is, why should I use Meridix? To answer that question, I would first like to state a couple of things that are probably obvious for many of you. And that's a couple of reasons why you should measure and report on your communication. The most obvious one is, of course, can your customers get in contact with you? But there are, of course, many more, such as, do we live up to our defined service levels? Are we using the technical features in the platform in an efficient way? Are there any bottlenecks in our system design? Could we perhaps communicate more efficiently, internally or externally? And to be able to answer questions such as, why can Department A answer twice as many calls as Department B? These are of course just a few examples of many available. And since many looking at this are service providers, there is also the fact that this is an extra service that you can package and sell to your customers to add some extra revenue, as well as adding additional value to your solution, of course. So, how can Meridix help to answer the why questions? When we started working on Meridix, we wanted it to be simple, but still powerful and as automatic as possible. And it should be usable by everyone. By dividing the system into three parts, basic reports, advanced reports, and scheduled reports, we think that we have been able to achieve what we tried to accomplish. I'm now going to make a couple of short introductions to each of these parts. First up is the basic reports, and as the name suggests, they are simple template reports where we have tried to remove all non-critical features in favor of simplicity. It allows users to get up and running directly with reports that are designed in such a way that they are both easy to create and understand. We have also built in the documentation for the report values directly inside the user interface, so that you always know what a value means and how to read it. There are still some nice features available, such as the possibility to view a report in many different time intervals, such as per day, weekday, or month, and a couple of others as well. Even though the basic reports are quite simple and a little bit limited, we have seen that these types of reports are sufficient for many customers. But there are always users who want to dive deeper into the information, and for them we have the advanced reports feature. With the advanced reports, we are taking the exact opposite approach to what we did with the basic reports. Here we include as much information as possible, since the users have the possibility to customize the content of our report to only contain the values that are of interest for their specific business. Another important feature is the groupings, which allow users to compare different objects side by side. On the image, the report shows users side by side, but it works exactly the same for ACD groups, rule-based numbers, hunt groups, and IVRs. Every single report can be presented in 27 different interval grouping combinations, so there are a lot of ways to look at the data. And as I soon will show, all reports can of course be exported to your favorite spreadsheet program, such as Excel or OpenOffice. And communication reporting is an iterative process where you usually create a report, then you make changes based on the result. Then you create another report to verify that the changes gave the expected result. And then you start over again from the beginning. So, a common question after a user have created a report is something like this. I want to have the report sent to me every Monday containing the previous week. And of course, we give users the possibility to save and schedule a report that then will be created and sent automatically by the system at a given interval. There are many features around the scheduled report, such as multiple schedules, different groupings, just to name a few. Another important thing is the format that the reports are being sent in. The most common one is OpenXML, or as you most likely refer to it, Excel. As you can see on the image, we have tried to make the exported reports look like the reports in the web user interface. We have also pre-wired filters and sorting functionality to allow users to be able to modify the report, even after it has left the user interface. For example, all charts are native Excel and can be customized as much as you like once you get the report. This gives users who only get the report sent to them, say once a month, a semi-interactive interface in a known environment without needing to learn how to use Meridix. We have just touched the surface of the system's end user capabilities, but this has hopefully given you a hint about what we can do and what value we can bring to the table. So far, we have looked at the system from an end user perspective, but to be a good solution for service providers and carriers, we of course need to fit into the big picture. We usually think of Meridix as a plugin and are trying real hard to be a good fitting piece in the puzzle that is communication solutions. Some of the things that I am referring to are branding, packaging, reseller support, language support, scaling, extensibility, auditing, and the possibility to integrate into other solutions as well. We have seen that different service providers have different ideas and have been using the versatile Telepo platform to create a large variety of solutions on top of it. And Meridix are trying to be a good reporting plugin in all of these cases. The first thing, and probably the most important one, is the branding support. You want your users to think that Meridix is just another part of your fantastic product. We actually have a great branding support where you can customize pretty much anything, including the web user interface, exports, mail templates, and the vocabulary used. So, your customers will not think of Meridix as yet another system. It will just be the reporting feature of their communication platform. I mentioned the fact that different service providers have packaged the platform in different ways. And Meridix want to give you the option to tailor the reporting after how you built your solution. For example, some have defined a basic and advanced level, another has defined light, standard, and enterprise levels. These levels can be configured directly from within the user interface of Meridix and will decide how your users experience the system. And you can of course have as many or as few as you need. A new feature is that now, just as mitel-telepo, Meridix have a reseller level that enables you to have reseller level admins, and settings can be configured per reseller to allow customization depending on their reseller's needs. This includes branding, report names, and pretty much all other system settings as well. And everything is synchronized automatically with your Telepo system, just as the catalog data is today. We have also seen solutions where service providers have multiple products built on the same mitel-telepo platform. We support those scenarios as well within a single Meridix installation, and allow them to be configured in many different ways. As I mentioned in the beginning, Meridix is a generic reporting platform that supports many other platforms beside mitel-telepo, meaning that a single Meridix system can have multiple platform modules loaded at the same time. A good example of this is one of our Swedish providers, who have an external answering service with its own reporting data. In that case, we have another custom-built module that enables them to use the same reporting installation for both report sources. Having a single user interface gives them a much better and more consistent end-user experience. Another important thing when it comes to being a well-fitting piece, as I mentioned earlier, is the ability to integrate not only against mitel-telepo APIs, but allow other systems to integrate against Meridix APIs. A couple of examples are single sign-on solutions, dashboards that are being fed data from Meridix, or other integrations that we still haven't thought of. This is made possible by having a good and extensive API that allow all kinds of different integrations. Another very important feature is the scaling and partitioning functionality in Meridix. We support both vertical and horizontal scaling, and you can easily have many separate database servers over which you can partition the data. This gives both great scaling possibilities, but also adds redundancy and allow very high SLAs. And guess what? Meridix is a cloud solution, even though we have an on-site option as well. We currently use Microsoft Azure as our cloud service provider, which enables us to give our customers great availability and redundancy on the infrastructure level. As you now have heard, we really believe that we have a good product and that it can add real value to your solution. But we also realize that it's difficult to evaluate without actually trying it yourself. So if you want to try it, we can let you connect your staging or live environment and test it for a couple months. Free of charge, of course. So visit our website or send us an email to claim this offer. And that's all I had for today. So thank you for listening and hope to hear from you.